I done took too many L's, told my niggas wins only, yeah. Wins only, yeah. Wins only, yeah. Wins only, yeah. Wins only, wins only. Wins only, yeah. Wins only. I done took too many L's, told my niggas wins only.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Candor culture, and the topic that we're going to start off with is social media.
How much of yourself do you give to social media?
That part.
Like, I mean, I think so many people actually, every minute of their life is centered around social media. They gotta post this, they gotta post that, they gotta say this, they gotta say that, they gotta tweet this, they gotta tweet that. How much of yourself do you give to social media?
So, as a singer, songwriter person, I feel like I loathe using social media, but I have to because it's a tool. It allows me accessibility. I think it's very beneficial for people in a lot of ways because you cut out the middleman, and it kind of, if you use it right, it can alleviate you having to deal with people who are ill-intended for you. On the flip side, I feel like so many people who don't really have like, okay, if you're trying to, if you're trying to sell something, I think that is great. But I think a lot of times people use it, and everybody has this idea that they're going to be this famous influencer, which also has kind of been tailored wrong because some of that is not real. And then everybody kind of gets on this bandwagon and feeling like I can only post the highlights. You know, it's like Facebook is drama. Instagram is the highlight. You know, TikTok is the stupidity, you know. And I feel like it has made us very insensitive. Twitter, but this shit get real. You know what I'm saying? But, and the bots. So a lot of the narrative isn't even being controlled by people. But with that being said, I feel like when it comes to relationships, we didn't get there yet. But in case for the next part, that it makes people very insensitive, and it makes it very hard for human interaction.
So, when we say that social media has given people a false sense of security, like I feel like a lot of people post because they know that they're not going to be held accountable for what they post.
Right.
And so, I think it, like you said, makes people insensitive. It's all about what I want to put out there. I don't really care about your input or your feedback. It's all about what I think.
Right.
So I think it's kind of made people selfish too. Law, how much of yourself do you give to social media?
I'm a very selective person. So I guess I'll use the word private. Privacy. I'm gonna put what I want to put out there. You know. People call it secretive, whatever. No, I just feel like some things are sacred and just don't need to be put on. I'm a real human, you know what I'm saying? You're not going to get it all up in my life. But I used to use it a lot for when I was in the fitness world. I would post for work and just like fun stuff. But as far as just like the depths of my life, you're not going to get too much of that. I might brag on my daughter a little bit. Or if it's like something that I know is going to help shield other people. Like if it's something that I know is going to reach other people, I use it as a tool for that. But I can kind of live without it. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of times where I just get ghosts and people are just like, where are you? Like, I guess you're kind of dead if you're not on social media. People act like you just got, you know. But I do that sometimes because it's just too much for me. Like,
so, Jesus, what do you think? Like, what is too much?
Too much is when I think too much is, man, when you gotta, I don't know. I can't answer that because that varies from person to person. You feel what I'm saying? So I can't really answer that. But for me, too much is when, you know, I don't know.
I got a question.
I don't know.
Men, when y'all go on social media, what's on your feed? Like what pops up as your recommended in your algorithm? Buddhist.
No, check this out. Check this out.
I was just playing.
Check this out. 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 Check this out.
It's not. Some man, it probably is.
Oh, actually, what did you? She said, answer lightly now.
But you gonna answer this right?
But
you gotta be.
but
He got the horns on his head.
nah, for real. But as for me though, it's everything because I mean, I got everything on my timeline. Like it be stupid stuff up there, sad stuff up there,
Booties.
inappropriate stuff up there. I mean,
You know one thing too?
it's
You have to kind of be careful what you like because you get associated
caught
with
in
that.
that.
Now.
Yeah.
Nowadays,
Soon as
it's
you
about
like it,
canceling people,
everything is-
and it's just like everything is connected to social media. You're making a statement, so you got to be careful with your job if you're working for somebody. Because when you work for yourself, you got to work.
I think social.
But yeah, go ahead.
I think social media, you know, I think social media take away the interpersonal skills that you're supposed to have as a regular human being. You know, it gives. There's a lot of catfishing going on.
Yeah.
People aren't that outgoing in real life. And,
Right.
What's the name?
Right.
It's kind of like a matrix within the matrix.
social media as a blanket.
Right.
Yeah, it's like a matrix within the matrix. So it's just fake to me. Like,
Facade.
Well, I think most real outgoing people probably are not using it. Because if you're really outgoing, you're living life. So you're not even like.
yeah.
I was
You
gonna
know.
use that as an example. Like one time Beyonce was filming, like she was doing a concert, and she was like, "You're so busy trying to get everything on social media or camera, you're not living in the moment."
Mm-hmm.
And I felt what she was saying. I was just like, sometimes you gotta. A lot of things are not. The best moments in life are not captured
Right.
on, you know, film. Sometimes they could be, but I keep them close to my heart. Like a lot of stuff, I may post years later.
Right.
From like an event that really touched my heart, or like just the warming moment. And some things I don't even want to share because people will nitpick your shit and take all the joy out of it
Right.
if you allow them to.
Right.
So, do social media alters like your mood?
It can.
I
if
think
you
it
allow
can.
So
Like I think it, and that was kind of gonna be the next question that I asked. Do you think social media, I guess, forces people to have like certain insecurities about themselves? Like, go ahead.
To touch on the insecurities point, I would say yes and no because honestly, it's on the person to see what stance they want to make. Because you can be a troll or you can be an activist. You can meet in the middle on social media. And for me, the perspective I have for social media is my generation grew up like I missed MySpace, but I came in with like Snapchat, Facebook, Twitter, and all that.
You
so,
missed my stage.
yeah, I was not that I missed like me the way I wasn't big on social media.
Oh, you make time you weren't born during my
No. I just wasn't big on social media for the MySpace age. I wasn't like on that. Like I wasn't trying to be on social media there and then. I was still like just playing my game, worried about myself. But like it wasn't until I got to maybe middle school, like later going to like high school, I really cared about social media. And like the perspective I have was like I remember Twitter After Dark, Club Twitter, like hashtags like of like seeing people that I went to school with, just like interacting online and then like remembering like actually interacting with females, like doing like to be honest posts and doing like rates and like doing games. Like that was part of my generation. That's how we picked up females or whatever like that. So social media nowadays though is looked more towards a business and marketing standpoint. But I think I can't see also like it being too much of a bad thing because like yes, social media, my friend almost got into a fight for what he said about somebody on Twitter. But it's like, there's also good things that happen. Like, when I was in college, a social media platform, we was able to like trade snacks or whatever like that. Like we was able to organize like battle rap stuff. We was able to organize like manhunt games. Like social media can be used for like fun activities. It can be used for good.
I got the answer then. What you asked me? When it's too much, right? It's too much social media when you don't got intention before you go on to that social media.
So let's do a fun fact moment. Since you brought up MySpace.
You mean truth moment?
No, like a fun fact. So I love MySpace. Okay, I love MySpace. I just want each one of you guys to tell me if you had a MySpace page right now, what would be your MySpace song? Like,
Shit, my music.
starting from this way.
Here's the Monell.
Kevin.
Shoot.
You said the song or the title of your
The song.
Oh.
You know how you could go and put a theme song on your page and like you can
That
create all
was
this.
so stupid. Yeah.
I love MySpace. It was so
Whoa.
creative.
No, why don't you do what theme song you had back then? I want to
I
know
can
what
tell
your
you that. I can
MySpace
tell you
looked
that.
like.
Okay, so you can do back then or now.
Okay,
Take
so we're
your
going
pick.
this way. I was in the 6th grade and I did not know that this was a bad song to have, but it was "Freaky Girl" by Gucci Mane. And my aunt on my MySpace, she said, "Why do you have this fucking song on here?" And I just liked the song, and I was just trying to be cool. I didn't know that like it was implying that I was a freaky girl. So, yeah, that was.
Now that I think about it,
Here you go.
I didn't have a MySpace, like
Right,
I
that's Soulja
said.
Boy.
I didn't have a MySpace.
You.
But if I had now,
He was too
I'm not
young
gonna
for that.
hold you.
He was too young for that.
Nah. That was
came
literally my time right there. That was literally my time.
Come on, run around doing the super.
If
No,
I
but
was-
seriously, to your defense, because I didn't have no business on MySpace.
Now,
My brother created my MySpace for me. And my mom was like, what?
I just never thought about like getting online. Like I was too busy with others. Like I was going outside too. Like I was actually
Right.
going outside.
Yes,
But,
we used to. Yeah.
if I had to pick, I guess I would say like I would probably do like maybe a Millie. I don't even think that's old enough, but I would say like a Millie would probably be my song. Like
Okay,
I'll
big
put
love.
I had a thing like I was Sierra all over again. I used to like that.
One,
You,
two step.
Sierra, that song. I was like, I think it was you.
What song? You talking that emotional one?
Coming.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's the next song.
That was my shit. Like, yay.
Before Russell
Right there.
Wilson.
They
Okay.
know what they were doing when they came on your profile.
What?
With that song, see,
What? No, I used to really like dancing and that type of thing. I was chill. Like we had the same kind of personality.
I get it.
Jesus.
Jesus.
I know. I already know.
What song I put up there today?
No, what song you had back then?
Anything? Huh?
What song you had back then?
I don't recall. I really don't. Yeah, I don't recall. But I'll put Beyonce up there.
Beyonce.
Beyonce, what? Beyonce song?
You can't break my soul.
Oh, okay. I think I forgot it.
I'm like, he's gay.
No.
You could lay on my pillow.
No.
I like that song. That whole album. get off.
Music is you know,
It's
I don't think
uplifting.
music
That
has
is a
gender.
very uplifting song.
It is.
Yeah, because it sounded like it should have been church song. You won't break my soul.
You know what? I got more church from
Church, not church.
I actually started crying because it was the day after I got out the hospital. And I was just feeling like shit. I was just like, but I was joyful too because I had life. I'm just like, I almost died. Every time I go to the hospital, I be
What's
like,
wrong?
this goes, let me get to
I'm
it.
sorry. No, I'm trying to picture this moment with the song.
But I don't know. It was Church Girl. It has like a sad feel to it, but it still has like I'm celebrating through the hard times. I got my girls with me. Like I'm getting through. I'm enjoying life, or whatever the case may be. So I don't know. I had like a therapy.
Was it about church? I didn't hear
No,
it. I heard
it
it was
actually
controversial.
it has like bounce music in the background because you know she's a native. Her mom's a native of New Orleans. She came up in Third Wall in Houston, but it kind of goes hand in hand. Her mom is Creole, so it had a bass line of bounce music, but she had like a mellow sound to it. She was like, when I get in this party, I'm gonna let go of everything. Like I'm just gonna enjoy myself, celebrating myself with my girls. I'm not worried about nothing. But then she kind of got onto the party
Oh,
side.
I see what she did. The
Yeah.
title was provocative because it ain't got nothing to do with
It
church.
was. But no, she was like, good girls, acting naughty, church girls, don't hurt nobody. Like, we all here just to have a good time. Whatever, you know, you got to celebrate yourself, celebrate life. Like, you going to be all right. Like, you got sisterhood or whatever the case may be. I was having a moment. Like, I'm just like, what am I down for? I was like, man, I overcame that hump. Like, I'm still here. Anytime you still got breath, I'm just like, I'm driving my own car. What am I sad about? So I just turned it up. Like, I was having a therapeutic moment. Like, I was feeling something to that song. I don't know. I I was sitting there crying, but I was dancing at the same time. It's like celebrating life. I got that from that song.
Play that because I've never heard it.
So my song actually ties into kind of like what you're talking about. Is Jhené Aiko Waves. It's an acronym for Why Aren't You Smiling. I love that song. I think anytime you're having like that anxious moment, like I'm a natural anxious person, so anytime I listen to her music, period, it just kind of brings me back to
Jhené.
But that would be my MySpace song. Teddy B.
I know you said now. I thought we had to do it from back then.
Well, now or then.
Oh, what was it back then?
Back then, girl. Let me see.
I showed it back then. Now it would have been a whole
maybe
different
in
story.
middle school back then. Let me see. I don't know. Go to him and I'll have probably.
Mariah Carey.
Mariah Carey. Go to him and then I'll have.
All right, so I can tell you my background. I had a picture of
B.I.G.
Oh, I probably did, but nah, this was before that though. So I had a picture of SpongeBob. You know, everybody had a picture of SpongeBob with some money or something, headband and all that junk. I put the whole Jacksonville on Lil Roof, the nasty song. I was the first person in Jacksonville that had that song.
Nasty song.
Yeah. Man, I was the first person on MySpace with that song, bro. The first person on MySpace with that song.
I got another fun fact. I ain't gonna do that. Go ahead. Go ahead.
But yeah.
Damn. I'm scared. I'm scared.
But yeah, the nasty song by Lil Roof. I put the whole Jacksonville on that, man.
I still don't know what my MySpace song would be back then.
I heard
I
this
know I
song
love
for the first
music.
time.
I like country, I like pop, I like rap, I like anything. So
with my sister-in-law, I was like, "Where do you have me?" I was just like, "What are we?"
But
See another nasty song.
back to social media. I think that it has been taken, like it's created insecurity in people. It's giving people a false sense of security. But I think the intent of it is, and that's kind of why I asked, like, what would be your song, what would back then and now? It's, I think the intent of you showing yourself through that has been lost because we've all been trying to, not all, but
fake it till you make it.
Majority of the time, people are trying to be like the next individual. So that's kind of why I wanted to bring that up. Your MySpace song is just because I feel like it's supposed to be you showing the world who you are. So moving on to the next topic, how has MySpace or Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, TikTok, social media platform that you use, how has that shaped today's relationships? Whether it's exclusive relationship, casual, family, friends, how has it shaped today's relationship?
I can tell you.
We're here for you.
So she said, say it again.
Relationship.
How has social media shaped today's relationships?
I am not in a relationship. I have not had any success. I even, they have this new thing at the bottom of Facebook where it says profile something dating. And every time I go on there, I just swipe away. Even with people I match with, I'm like, something wrong. Swipe away. Because it just feels wrong. Everybody feels so ill-intended. When I meet people, they're not what I assume them to be. They bother me. I don't know. It might be me. I don't know.
So, like, would you guys, like, if you were really, like, looking for, like, a relationship, would you guys be scared to, like, do it via social media?
Yes.
I was just about to put it out there. Like, so if you're from my generation, some people of my generation have got hip to that, but I tried it once. Coming from a person that was married and lost the love of their life, you know what I'm saying? I was in a good space. So I said I was going to dip my little toe. I tried to dip my little toe in the water, and I didn't like it. It was just too much, and I felt like I feel like someone's watching me. Like, they noticed my face because I was like kind of well known in that area for like being a gym leader or whatever you want to call it. I feel like it was one of the people that frequents the gym, but they were asking me crazy like it was just got really weird and just inappropriate, and I just didn't know how to approach again. I'm just like, I don't want to do this anymore. So with that being said, if you're a more like in person type of person, You get what I'm trying to say. Don't, whatever. But, you know, a lot of social media has just like kind of dismissed that. Like it's a texting and inboxing and you have to read their bio. It's just like you're not really getting to feel a person. Like I have to feel like a vibe. Like what's your aura like, or what, like a conversation. Can you have just a normal conversation? I want to hear your tone, like how you are. You can't get that through that. And maybe that's your issue now. Like trying to date now. No, I'm just saying, trying to date now, people get their therapy through social media. I was just like, you're gonna interpret things through memes and stuff or whatever somebody posts because you're interpreting it wherever you are in life. And where you are in life, you might not have the proper guidance. So you're interpreting it in the wrong light. So you could be getting the wrong counsel. Like everybody want to be a therapist and this and that and the third on social media instead of getting real life help from their elders or therapy or whatever the case may be.
So I think it can be very toxic. It can be very toxic. For instance, not just relationships, like exclusive, like relationships, you dating a person, but for family,
Right.
for friends. I mean, like you will tell a person happy birthday, but you won't pick up the phone to call that person. Like you lose, like he said, all 10 of the whole interpersonality or interpersonal communication. You know, it's just happy birthday or Merry Christmas. Like you don't pick. It makes you not pick up the phone to call that person or pick up the phone and say, "Hey, what's going on?"
But see, I would argue that's an advantage / disadvantage. Because sometimes I just look. It's easy. Sometimes just hit that because you know now they got the pre-fill button. Happy birthday! I did my duty for the day.
See,
you know, but I don't know. Going back to relationships, I feel like the world that the world that we in is a curious one here in Jacksonville, Florida, and I don't know. I just feel like when you go on social media and you look for somebody, even if they're looking for you, by the time you see them, not the same. This is something just got.
what's y'all take?
I think. Go ahead, Ted.
No, go ahead, man.
I think trying to find a relationship is like trying to meet a woman in the strip club. It's kind of like meaningless. Like that's stupid, bro. Like
That's why it's stupid.
it's a mirage, bro. It's a mirage. That's all it is a mirage.
It's a mirage.
It's play.
I use myself as an example. So
we get tea.
I use a lot of my social media for work. And I would have fun at work, but also too, I had some of the darkest hours of my life. Behind that smile, there's a such thing as like smiling depression, whatever you want to call it. I don't want to call it depression. I was just in a dark moment. I would literally have to put on this. I'm good long as I'm uplifting other people because that's my calling, that's my gift. But a lot of times you can't do that for yourself, and I had no one there to help me get through that. Like I went through the darkest hours of my life. But if you look on my social media, everybody just like, it could be deceiving because I didn't have the strength, or I guess I was just too prideful or just too hurt to just go to my family or feel like, you know, I just never wanted to be a burden to someone else. But I struggled. I feel like I had to kind of go through that moment because it made me the woman that I am now. But I struggled like really, really, really bad. And it's hard just putting on it wasn't fake because that was me, but that's not what I was feeling really, real deal at the time. Like I'm doing this because I have to keep moving. Like I gotta encourage people because that was giving me purpose still, because at the time when I turned that key and I got home, I could barely breathe. Like it was just like either tears or just numbness. I can't even really describe it.
So it was like a struggle in itself because you portraying that everything is okay on social media, but deep down it's like, but you're still mad at, I don't want to say you're mad, but you're still wondering why nobody don't realize that you're feeling a certain type of way. But they looking at social media like, okay, she alright. She having fun.
So that's what I was just like.
So is it amplifying? Is it amplifying?
But that's just my experience with that. And I had a lot of people, once I was real with myself and I was comfortable giving my story. Like, yo, I was just in a dark time. But it was like, but this and that and the third. But you posted this and that and the third. A lot of times I was posting therapy for other people. I was encouraging myself. I'm preaching to other people. I'm uplifting myself because I had no one there. But to be honest, I didn't reach out like that because I didn't know how to, like.
And sometimes it's not that easy to reach out. Like,
It
you don't want to
isn't.
be vulnerable like that. You don't want to tell people what you're going through. And I think it's up to those people. We talked about sisterhood a couple of episodes ago. And I think it's up to those people that you have in your circle to recognize when you're going through something, even when you're smiling.
Right. Something just hit me. Ding dong, ding dong. Sobriety just hit me. I'm back. Okay. No, for real. When she was talking about faking it or whatever, like trying to put on a mask when you're going through it, I feel like what I personally have encountered in the connection aspect of social media, or just in life, or the nuances that social media has created, I feel like for most men that I've encountered, the assumption is that I'm one way and that I'm not. Y'all know me. I'm not a girly girl at all. So that's one part. Then the other part is that because I'm the energy, I encounter people sometimes who expect me to always be the energy. You know, and again, I think that goes with that nuanced conversation we were just having. And then when I'm not the energy, or when I'm not the put together kind of person, then now, the facade is gone. I see who she really is. I'm not really attracted to that. On to the next. So in essence, my response is just being, shut down. I don't have time for it anyway. I just start smelling bullshit early. But I think that's again, I really just feel like that's a nuance of social media. I think that stems from that impatient, that I want it all and I want it now. I want this person to be a certain way.
Microwave society.
Oh yeah,
Right.
but it's nothing wrong with that. It's just you can't look for that on social media. I say for like the younger generation, yeah, because they don't know what they want. But us as grown-ups, like, we know exactly what we want. And if you portray something on Facebook and you're like, okay, he like this and he not like that in person, yeah.
If you want to be real, like, people go to social media for the news. Guess what? They gonna go check, what's that, on Instagram?
Shade Room.
Shade Room. They're gonna go check that. Or they're getting their dating advice from an extremist. He might have had facts. Rest in peace. You know what I'm saying? But he might have some facts, but
I had a lot of facts.
I'm not saying all were all facts, but it's just like taking in some people take everything literally. Some of that was humor too. Like, he wasn't dead. He wasn't
dead serious every time.
Right. You know what I'm
But
saying?
you know
He had
what?
sarcasm.
And
other people, like, women should be this way or men should be this way. Nah, this is
I have a motto in
entertainment.
life. I take what I need and I leave what I don't.
Eat
And
the
I
fish,
think that's what
spit
you
the
have to
bones.
do with social media. Take what you need, leave what you don't. And if it's poisoning you, if what you're looking at is poisoning you and who you are, then you need to take a step back from it. Because now, like, on my news feed, everybody's the same. Everybody's talking about the same thing. Everybody's just, nobody's unique anymore.
But there's
And
multiple aspects to that, though. Because sometimes if you are in the bit, like, for example, like if you're trying to build, the platform. I know I'm going through that right now. You have to engage on the app.
Right.
Or else they will, you won't find yourself in the algorithm. You have to engage with your niche in order for them to start circulating you in the right algorithm. So it forces you to have to digest bullshit in one aspect. Unless you pay I do know some people who pay somebody to search their feed and do stuff for them, depending on your level of seriousness with it. So sometimes you get stuck in the fact you have to deal with it. I know for me as a musician, which I think is so stupid. I don't want to knock y'all, man, but it's like sometimes it's just like y'all don't see it. It's like the depth is not there. Because on one end, okay, yeah, I'm attracted to her. She's a singer. Oh, she's this old. She's this wild. You do realize in order to create that music, I have to, like, I'm an emotional individual. I dive in deep. Like, this doesn't stem from nothing. So it's like, I don't know if you just hoping I was going to be Britney Spears or something, but it's like, that's what this is. And then it's like, oh, but that's too much. I'm sorry you have no substance. I don't know. Whack.
To that point, I do understand that you have to digest certain things, but I don't think we should let it consume you. Like, I think when it consumes you, that's the problem.
Right.
So, again, take what you need, leave what you don't. But going back to relationships, I think it has created, like I said earlier, like a false sense of security.
Men with no substance.
And I think you do
Lord,
have
don't
to.
start. Don't
She went back to
start.
sobriety.
I think you have to be more intentional about getting to know that person. Go ahead.
I don't want to cut you off, Ash, but I think a major aspect of social media people don't take in is a social aspect. Everybody looks to gain something from social media instead of just using it just to like literally talk to each other.
Mm-hmm.
Like we already don't like go to each other's house, like you said. Like we don't pick up the phone. We have the pre-written message, but it's like you don't have to just post on their page. You can go on the DM and you can type a happy birthday such and such. It's different than everybody else seeing. They gotta check their messages. Oh, that's more personal than just clicking a button and it's posting. Also, like with the relationships, like I can't say about like being a adult really using social media for like dating, because I did all that when I was younger, and it was like
How you find your women?
I mean, when I was younger, once again, before I'm 3 kids in at this point, I'm done doing anything except taking care of all my brothers of joy. But at the end of the day, like when I was, you know, trying to just go on social media, let's just say I had an encounter for every social media platform I've had an encounter.
I mean, that was the main focus.
And so, like you said a little earlier, how the young people don't have no intentions or no direction. No, they have an intention. They trying to do what they're trying to do. But then it's also like her intention. She's looking for somebody she can be with. All of our intentions on using, well,
not on social media.
But see,
No, I'm not.
everybody. Well, okay, I'm twisting what you're saying, but still, everybody has their own goal when it comes to going online. So you can't be mad if one person on Twitter, like Tinder, is yes, you're supposed to be dating, matching. Some people's aspect of Tinder is like, I'm trying to smash. That's it. Like I'm not like I'm gonna read the bio, all that. Then Instagram, but it's like there's some people like going there like they actually go on Tinder looking for love. Like some people's mindset really is they just really think they can find. And so that's the thing. They're going off of that hope that they can be the one. So everybody's intention using social, you can't blame it when your intentions ain't. You know.
But okay, but at the same time too, I feel like the problem comes in reality. Your person may not be within your proximity, right? Like depending on your ability to be able to. You know, I know some people who actually work retail on the weekends just to get more social exposure with other people. I understand it because, you know, depending on if you're going to bars, and honestly, sometimes your person may not be going to bars. I mean, it sometimes becomes a hassle trying to be within the proximity of like-minded individuals or a like-minded individual. So sometimes you have to use social media. You hope that even if you're not trying to use it, that in some way, shape, or form, it might bring you to a person that you may not have been able to connect with. No different than the TV show Love is Blind. People are going on these shows because they're like, at least I can find someone who actually wants to settle down, who I can, you know, is pre-selected for me. Like, you know, it kind of eliminates some of the frustration. Because I know, again, no shade in my city, but in Jacksonville, it's not a whole lot of, I don't even want to, it's not just men, people with substance. You know, it's a different culture here, especially because I like my chocolate man, you know, trying to look for people within your same, you know, like, and I'm not talking about men, I'm saying in general, men and women, trying to look for people within your same bracket. Sometimes
Chocolate don't usually like chocolate.
What the fuck you mean?
So
It does.
now that we're talking about,
What you mean,
we're
like the
talking
same
about what
tone of
attracts
skin?
blood.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Like chocolate.
Chocolate.
Chocolate
We
got.
love chocolate.
No, I'm
Yes,
talking
you
about
do.
chocolate guys don't usually look for chocolate.
Yes,
we
they
milk
do.
chocolate.
Yes, they do.
What?
We milk
No, I
chocolate.
agree.
I
agree.
Most black niggas be with the reddest girl.
No, they don't. What are you talking about? Most of the dark
No.
people I know with other dark people. What you mean?
Well, you would have had some chocolate.
I done had plenty of chocolate. Most of the men I done put
Committed
down.
chocolate.
I had some committed chocolate. I mean, my daughter's father's side chocolate. I done had some. I'm just saying. I done seen.
I put a poll. Fun fact. It's a fun fact. Chocolate people don't be dealing with chocolate people, man.
Why would you?
They deal with like a lot of hue or some.
I've known most.
Like
Like
usually.
most chocolate men that I've known have dated Like it's not a
Man,
selection.
y'all gonna
It's
back
like
me up?
different.
Y'all got anything to say about that?
There's all
Ain't none of
different
y'all
shades of
chocolate.
chocolate. I
I'm
don't
just
really know what
saying.
you're talking about.
Chocolate
Well,
guys
here's the thing.
usually go for red.
You're not
women.
chocolate. You're not
Hey,
chocolate.
wait a
you're not
goddamn
chocolate, you're not
minute now.
chocolate. No.
But last week she wanted to have a conversation about colorism.
I
I was the victim.
As the chocolate person on the panel.
Oh my.
You a beautiful
Damn sure
woman.
beautiful.
Okay, with a big booty.
And you black and you dark skinned. You know?
Hell yeah, that's the butter on the motherfucking biscuit.
Look, we
But with
we
that-
appreciate the black beauty.
But with that being said, when we in public, you know how I be. You in public, I done seen many fine men, but I ain't with nobody. But when I was with somebody, if I see a fine man, he look at me. You right, we do look into each other's eyes, and I see him like, oh God, and I look away, and then he keep looking at me, and I look away.
You say, oh God?
No, I just. Well, sometimes I look at my friend, I go, oh God, this man is looking at me.
You know what?
But
I
we
used to
fight
cast
for
that
this.
spirit down. I go tongue by man.
Oh, that's equivalent to gravity.
But that's not.
But
Sometimes I just.
You get the picture. You get the picture. Because I know men, like the alpha men that I like are that type of man. They gonna try to get what they really want, and they're going to try to entice you.
Let's meet one.
Ninja, you ain't finna entice me. I'm trying to, you know what I'm saying? I got something going good here. You're not gonna get me trapped up.
Behind the scenes.
So why a man can't? Why?
So when I knew
Why men
when
can't
he
work?
would grab me up, cause like some pretty chicks would come by. I know I'm a pretty confident chick, but sometimes you be like, well, goddamn, you do look good. You know what I'm saying? We both might be looking, but he'll grab me
And I
close.
say, bitch.
So how long
but
did he
see,
stay? How
that
long did he
aggravates
look?
me. But that aggravates me.
But hold on.
Let me explain.
All right,
Let
go
me
ahead.
explain.
I see them, but you the baddest. That is what.
But see,
you say.
like for me, okay, so y'all know the little ants in my head be going.
Definitely before.
Sometimes ain't nobody asking their 2 cents. No, but listen. So damn, I forgot my train of thought.
The ants in the head. When we was talking about the men, the women, and looking at the men.
So I expect from men naturally to see certain things and to it's just natural,
I don't.
right?
Make sure you keep it natural.
But wait, what were we talking about?
We
We
You
were
said
talking
golf.
about
the men.
No, you said something.
So I was
The
just
alpha
saying,
men.
like, the men that I'm attracted to,
Mhm.
they're go-getters. They're gonna get what they want.
Mhm.
So that whole eye gaze thing, that can be very enticing. But me, I'm the type of woman, like, I got what I need.
Mhm.
So I'd rather be with what I need. And I saw this in this man. He feels the same way about me. Because
Mhm.
there's always going to be women that's like 10 times finer than me. But you can't love them like I can love them. I'm his better half. You know what I'm saying? You may can add to whatever. But we're together.
So
Like,
my
he's here
thing
for a
was
reason.
that
If you have a man
Fine men
heart,
with some of them
like,
gay.
So
That sound like confidence.
me,
I done been with some gay men.
naturally, I'm
I have.
confident, but naturally, I'm like a
I forgot.
possessive.
yeah.
This is mine.
That's not natural.
Like this is
That's
mine.
basic.
That is very natural for me. It may not be natural for you,
Because
but it's natural
it
for me.
intimates that you can lose.
What? No.
If you gotta be.
It's just
what you
like
said-
being an
said
only.
possessive.
Possessive.
Possession. The polar opposite
Not-
of that is you dropping the ball, you losing.
No.
No, what?
I disagree. It's just like you
No.
being an
You
only
don't
child. You
bad
try
thought
to introduce
process.
an only
This
child
is
to
my
another child.
territory.
This is my territory.
And that the
Just
child
like,
will feel like they lost.
wait, but wait.
Hey,
Just
press
like,
pause. You ever seen a pack of a herd of what a pride of lions? You think that male lion is bad?
Mhm.
Them felines, them lioness, so
Mhm.
whatever you want to call them, they're very territorial.
And if you want to break away that bad, bro, go. Like if you looking that hard, you want to break away that bad, by all
Right.
means.
Right. So back to her point though
Y'all
about the
let
whole
men
bullying.
be. Y'all let men be.
But
The whole
Facts.
Y'all suppressed.
but look, check this out though.
We oppressed.
That's how people be gay, and that's how you be fucking these gay guys.
You take that. I mean,
No,
what do you
After this
think
show.
when he does that? Or yeah.
I don't know, like for me, like, and I have to, that's something that I have to work on within myself.
Is it an insecurity?
You
It's not an insecurity.
What she got to
It's
be
not,
insecure? Look at her.
Come.
it's
Cool.
not an insecurity, and it has nothing to do with him. It's the fact that I'm hesitant to trust people. Like I'm naturally hesitant to trust your instinct or
Trust is
your intent. So
Now that I can't say.
you pulling me is like, I don't don't know. It's just a subliminal thing
But-
for me. Like
but-
it's I'm one to always be
Don't
in my
trust
head.
shit.
So that's my point. But that's my point.
Trust is
me
bad.
being that
Trust is
way
trust is
has
trash.
made me this way. So that is something that I have to work on now. It could be his way of, like you said, can't nobody, you know. But for me, it's like a negative thing, and so it makes it difficult. But I agree. Men will see things. Men will see things. But my issue is when you go and look for those things. That's my issue.
It's not. I don't even think it's that because
Entertainment.
just like he has eyes, you have eyes too.
True.
I see a beautiful.
But I'm not gonna go look up Michael B. Jordan. Just
Oh
to
no,
scroll
yeah.
up
Now
through
that
his
pictures,
pictures, that's my thing.
My first,
So you telling me you ain't
my
never
first
scrolled through
relationship
Michael B.
outside of
Jordan?
my
maybe if I happen to see him, but I'm not gonna go pull up.
Wait,
I have a story.
I think they double standing in
So I was in a
No.
They're
relationship.
not oppressive.
My first relationship outside of my husband passing, right? So
With who?
he was.
Damn.
You thought, wait, who?
No, I'm just kidding. But it was. I'm not gonna bad talk him or nothing like that. We just weren't for each other at the time. We were in two different spaces at the time. But he had a thing where all of his exes or whatever the case may be, he would like go through this whole rundown of their Facebook and where they at in life and all this other stuff. And I'm just like, you have a problem. Me being the secure woman that I am, I'm just like, you have a problem. But after a while, that shit gets annoying. And I'm pretty sure he probably did the same thing with me. That's just how he was. So however therapeutic that was for him, it was just annoying for me at some point. So I get you on that. What are you looking for?
Right.
I got a
Because
question.
once I close the door, like, I wish you well. Sometimes it don't even that. Like, I had to get to the point to wish him well. I was just like, I don't think about you.
I got a question. No, I got a statement.
Oh, Lord.
Now, just because somebody gets in a contractual or a situation with another woman, right?
Marriage.
Marriage.
Yeah.
all that shit, right?
Call it what it is.
No, I won't.
I'm just playing. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
marriage. It can be marriage, whatever. You
No,
know?
I get you.
Man attraction to the opposite sex ain't gonna fucking change.
Mhm.
We love different
We
shapes,
do too.
sizes. Like
Same here.
we're physical. We're physical.
So am I.
No, but to your
What?
point, and that's
I'm just saying we as men gotta have that freedom to indulge, like to do that. It ain't gotta be in a disrespectful. That's why you said y'all. Every relationship got their standards.
Right.
Alright, this is disrespectful to me. I feel this way, and then y'all got to compromise on it. But to stop the nature of a man is retarded.
Or the nature of a woman.
But listen, and I
Exactly.
think that's
That
where
too.
my issue comes in.
But I think you doing that to be facetious.
No, I'm
and
being
trying to
dead
act like you got the
serious.
same rights as a
I
man.
feel like let me real quick, because I think sometimes you got some men who are so manly, which I love a manly man, but are so manly that they almost forget the fact that women tend to have the same tendencies as a man.
No, they don't.
No, you don't.
Yes, they do. It's
False.
just
Back up.
What is that tendency?
Excuse me,
coming from the heart.
I'm living proof.
It's more
I'm
emotional.
a very sexual person.
I was just
Yeah.
about to
More
get there.
emotional.
Yeah.
Men
But-
are not
But wait, let
more
me finish her
emotional.
statement.
But I'm saying, on the flip side, no. I mean, I get what you're saying, but there's also different kinds of women. I'm very sexual, yes. I want to, when I'm
You
really
okay?
connected to a person. On the
Breathe.
Okay.
There's so much. There's so much this.
On the sorry. On
Not
the
even
flip
that,
side, not only am I very sexual, I also don't like to be bothered. I'm somebody who is very big on my time. I don't like to be bothered. The reason why I said I have a hard time in dating is because I do find things very annoying. So it's very quick for me to make a decision to be like, I don't really care for this person that much, or I'm just not into this person. It does, but my point is that there are many women in the world who are similar in that fashion. So just like you said, you can't cut off that nature as a man. I cannot cut off that nature as a woman. You know, I feel like what I'm tapped into is my femininity, personally.
Can I say
I don't
this?
know.
I feel like the type
I
of
beg to
man that it takes a special type of woman to be with a special type of man, because like a woman, if all of her emotional needs are not being met, guess what? She's going to seek them other places. Just like all of your
In a place that
don't do that. Please don't. Be nice. Please. I will understand.
Big lie.
So, what I was saying was,
I submitted.
like, it takes a special type of, I'm not gonna say special, but a special understanding. Like, I'm pretty confident. I'm real confident. Because, you know, like, I operate in my capabilities. Like, I know what I can do. Nobody can be me like I can be me. And if I'm that woman for you, of course I know your nature. Am I bothered? You better be worried about me and if they like me over you. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I'm teasing.
Yes.
But what I'm saying is a man is going to be a man. So you got to let him do him. I don't have any problem with that. But once my needs aren't being met, like if you forget about me and you put something over me, like that's a whole nother, you know, what we have is like a connection, a covenant or whatever you want to call it. Anything else is added.
And I think
so
like
you
my
can't
issue,
take away.
My issue is when you try to, excuse me, like I said, snow me. Don't try to make me think.
Snow me? What is my come?
Yeah.
Like
Can you explain snow for us?
Don't
Manipulate me.
Yeah.
Like, don't try to make me feel like, oh, I'm not looking at this. I'm not attracted to that. Like, don't just admit, like you're attracted to this.
But
This is but it has to be a respect, kind of like what he said. Boundaries, respect, all of that plays into that.
Yeah,
When
put
we
it on
turn
paper.
45, we'll bring her.
Man,
No,
Well, she get born.
not for me. But some marriages, and some people.
What I've come
you
to
know,
learn
but-
though is if you have a man's heart, like it's something that you can't really sever. Like he's gonna always long for you, want you, but he may want other women physically, but he's going to be connected to you. And you could walk away and he's going to chase after you. You know what I'm saying? But you can't, like, the natural stuff, just like you may see a fat-ass man, because you're emotionally, you operate off the emotional, you're not connected to him emotionally. So you're not going to just act off of that. Men are kind of visual. But the lack of self-restraint and control, that's why, like, a man is cool. Like, he thinks first and acts after that. So it's planned out. Like, I don't want a man that doesn't know how to control himself.
reaction.
Right.
Yeah, it's a disaster.
I just had a statement and then a question.
Mhm.
My statement was, I was in a situation where I was wanting somebody who I thought was like 10 out of 10 fantastic. I got with them. I still fucked them over, but it was in a fucked up situation.
You shouldn't have said that.
No, because you need to. It definitely did. I already know, like, one action will cause another action. The reason I bring that up is I fucked over, meaning that I fucked them over, meaning like everything like they were doing for me, I was unappreciative. But one thing I know I didn't do was look at any other female like at all while I was with them. Like I wasn't appreciating the way they were doting on me, like loving me. That fucked everything up, lying, doing other shit, like spending other time doing other shit. But one thing I didn't do was like look at any other female, like be scrolling, cause like that was who I wanted. But when I got it was like, oh, I got the big head, like I don't gotta worry about shit. I can like go do whatever. But it's like exactly. And I say that to say like on social media, like once you like go in on like, you know, if you with somebody that you really like, you know, you find is like the baddest or you want it, like I just, for certain dudes, it's like, yeah, you're gonna look, but it's like, if it's on your timeline, I don't think necessarily like, if you see like your dude, which was my question, if you see your dude look at like maybe one profile, what is the issue with him, like you discovering, oh, he has a different aesthetic that he likes besides me? Are you upset that he found an aesthetic or that you, like, it's not matching yours and you're not confident enough to either work it into what you got going on or to talk to him and be like, okay, I see what you like, you know, so like, what can I do to like, you know,
No,
like,
it's not
is it
about
like
what
is
can
it
I
a
do.
blame
It's
thing
about-
or is it
That's a good
so, because it's like, you just said it's not what you can do, why can't,
It's not what I can do. Like, I'm not going to come to you and ask you what I can do for you to match what another woman is doing. Like, that's not my MO at all. I am who I am. But wait.
Oh,
Go
Lord.
But wait. No, I'm kidding.
Don't play with her. Hold up.
No, but I think if I were to notice something like that, it means for a conversation. Because like I said, when you are 20 years old, when you turn 25, when you turn 30, you're a different person. So you might be looking for something different. So I feel like that's a conversation. I feel like when you know a person, like when you're married to a person or you're in an exclusive relationship with a person, you have to have those type of conversations. You have to have those conversations that are uncomfortable for you. And being uncomfortable for you is, it may be that you're completely different to what I'm attracted to now. And so I think that
bye.
But that's my thing. Like you have to
have things change. That's all.
You have to have a backstabbing.
Hold on, wait.
Yeah.
If you going off of that logic,
Well,
like,
have you had a backstabbing friend? I've never
I told you she not loyal.
But man, you be like, no, you said
I'm just saying, like a backstabbing friend, it's gonna make you question everything, and every person has a reason. The way they walk, the way they walk, the way they are, the way they are. Their traumas are their blessings. You know what I'm saying? Life molds you. And sometimes we have to unlearn what we learned, you know, and heal ourselves, because sometimes it's getting the better of you. Like, this man loves you and he adores you.
Oh, clearly. He was trying to take you
If you want to look at a little booty on the side
I
sometime,
know
let
you
him do
as
it.
big sis because, you know, I know a lot of years have gone past, but, you know, I love you to pieces, just like you're my own child. You saw how I did Romero, like both of y'all was my, like I was Kavia's child too, but that's just the observation. You got your big sisters here. I'm your big sister. I don't care if we cousins or not.
Right. We've been siblings since.
Fuck new friends. Forget whoever messed with my cousin Heart, backstab her. You backstabbed the wrong person because she's the realest of the realest. They don't come no realer, and you way too humble. You bad.
Can we talk about them ants?
No, you feel like no. You gotta let me finish saying what I'm saying.
Come on, big
You gotta heal those
You been
because it's
killing
getting
me
in the
this
way
episode.
of you and your soulmate. You know what I'm
It's
saying?
not so much that.
And you gotta be receptive when she communicates to you. You know what I'm saying? This is coming from experience. This your elder speaking. Be receptive when she speaks to you.
Try to drop
The woes of her heart. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all are devoted to each other. Like, listen to each other. Don't listen to debate. Listen to understand where y'all coming from. You know what I'm saying?
And
Y'all
be
can make
honest.
each other. Yeah. And ain't nothing finna shake y'all or break y'all. You know what I'm saying? Talk about everything so nothing can come between that.
If you
And
see
I
my,
think
if you
that's
scroll
why-
and see Michael B. Jordan, she submitted. Like, I might be in the weight room a little bit.
That is my point.
Right.
Like,
I weight so
take,
nigga. So.
We don't really
I
like
can
Michael
take
Jordan. Y'all
honesty.
think
I can take raw
And don't
He ain't
insult
dark
my
skin, I'm
intelligence.
criticism, but don't don't insult my intelligence and don't make me
We come from the
try
same
to
cloth,
think
cuz.
try to think that this is something completely different. Like, just be
I got a
honest
question.
about it.
Because
And again,
I got a question.
have
Of the
those
realest.
conversations.
I think I got a statement. I got a motherfucking statement.
What?
I think.
Let them swing.
I
Let them
think-
swing. You just.
I think men, male, whatever you want to call them, they got an innate fear of women. Really, let me break it down a little bit.
I know they're scared of me.
Because a lot of them is just not fucking honest with themselves. A lot of them not honest with themselves. They'll lie. That's a sign of fear when you gotta lie. You feel it when you gotta fucking lie to somebody that you trying to build with. You get what I'm saying?
No, that's a very that was a very in tune.
But I don't
statement.
think
Yeah, I think it's a little fear.
I don't think it's fear.
Oh, I do.
I don't think
I know
it's
niggas
fear.
scared.
I think.
I heard them niggas be gangsters.
But no.
I mean catching bodies.
No, I used to tell people like either
No, hold up. Time
either
out.
be all the way 1,000
Nah.
with me or keep it so far away from me that I never smell the slightest scent of it
That's
because
why-
you love me that much.
Prove
Like
my
either
point.
keep it all the way, either keep it all the way
I need
1,000 with me
everything.
because I'm
I
really
need to know
the real.
everything.
Like I'm the
I'm
most
a-
understanding.
I
Like
should've
we're
been-
not perfect. We're not perfect.
November.
Hey.
You interrupted.
I'm saying I did.
Yeah.
I did. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Finish your talking.
Go ahead. You
I
already
apologize.
You already made
I interrupted the cane, y'all.
gang.
Okay.
Don't finish your
The
statement.
Hazel.
I apologize.
No, but Kevin,
Don't make it seem like you just trying to like you said. Don't make it seem like what it's not. So if he's liking a profile that is somebody that's a celebrity, he'll never like ever encounter like that.
That's different.
that's different.
Okay,
What
so
I'm
and
saying
Because you
is,
can't encounter.
And then the instance of he liking like maybe
Whoever
a
he is, you can
local,
be touched.
a local urban model, right?
I don't know. It kind of goes back to like dudes will be like, "Oh, I like natural. I wear your hair natural. This and
but
that." and the
they're
third."
looking at all
Or,
these.
You ain't got
unnatural
that.
people.
You ain't got the exercise. You ain't got to do all that. I like. Let me finish my thought though. I like a little extra meat. But when you start exercising, it be like that. So when you start exercising, your stomach is flatter and you keeping a little healthy weight. Oh, they can't get their hands off you. But you go over there and look at them. They over on BBL Judy over here, like, and you just kind of gotta never mind it because men are gonna be men. But like, I don't go for guys like that. I really don't.
My thing is just be honest
Yeah.
and have those
Don't
honest,
be scared.
uncomfortable conversations.
But my thing is, okay, but then here's my question. But what is what? I get to being honest.
Y'all
What is
in
the
there.
conversation you gonna tell me that you don't desire me anymore?
No, it's not that.
I'm asking.
You going too,
If I
far.
if I
Y'all
ask,
just-
like for instance, if I see that you're looking at, okay, so do you like this? You gonna sit there, oh, I don't remember, or oh, I don't know, or oh, I don't know why. No, it's not personal. I'm just saying, I'm saying like, I'm
Because I came from a secure relationship, I was in a marriage, like I was in a union, whatever, and we did everything together. Like we was up face in front of it. Was nothing, no secrets, none of this and that of the dirt. So I get in a relationship, and I'm just like, oh my God, look at that big booty Judy, this, that, the third, pornography. Like, are you not attracted to me? I was like, at the time, I didn't know I was still grieving. Like, it was too soon for me to even be in a relationship because I forgot who I was. The law before that would have never even thought twice about that because we probably would have been living together, this and the third. But because I felt like he was doing it behind my back and trying to hide it and this and that and the third, it's just like, oh, you're not attracted to me. But I didn't think he realized what he had at the time that he had it because the apology came later. But I needed to go through the shit that I needed to get through anyways to become who I am now. But like some of that is just natural.
but I think
Whatever,
to a certain
it's just
degree,
like
that
I
to
wish
me
I
goes
had.
back to what's uncontrolled, like what's inevitable. It's not inevitable for you to go search porn because
Right.
you have what you have right here.
Mm.
And if I'm telling you no,
That's
If you say no, then
but
what?
wait, let me explain.
So you don't want me searching?
No, no, no.
Well, no, because
I
I'm here.
But you
like,
said
I'm
no.
aware.
So what is he supposed to do when you say
wait. No, let me explain. If that is a mutual agreement that you have within your marriage or in your relationship, yes. But when you're going, like you said, sneaking, then it's a
Okay.
problem for
Okay,
me.
I understand.
You make it a problem for me.
Okay,
But I'm not gonna get into that. But
If you feel like you
I
need
feel
to,
like no, I don't want to be too personal. So
Teddy B, you better come on.
Shut your mouth. I think it has to be a mutual agreement. It has to be a mutual
That's
agreement.
fair.
Otherwise, it's a form of
touch
cheating.
and agree.
Hold on now.
Cheating.
I'm down with
You don't just
hold
cheat.
on, hold
You
on.
gotta be upfront and personal. That shit gets real.
You gotta be honest. No, you gotta be honest.
Hold on. I think it's
Honesty.
I think porn.
Now, can you have
It's
personal?
porn.
Porn is
But
trash
porn
anyway.
can. But you need to be real and honest with the shit because this is your life
So when he
partner.
look up porn, he gotta tell.
No, this is your life partner. So yeah. Hey, this is what I'm doing. 'Cause it
Oh, we
shouldn't be a
getting deep.
surprise to her. What comes is you're keeping this secret from me. I don't really know the real.
Okay,
you.
but okay, question.
That's a
This
form of
is a
cheating.
generic question.
It's called
Okay,
privacy.
hold on. It's a
Nah,
generic
it's
question. Hold on.
nothing
Hold
but-
on. It's a generic question. But
It's
how
like
would the person
I know you.
Like, 'cause it's on your phone.
It would break. It would be like like, I mean, she's saying that they had like a.
No, I'm talking. I'm talking. Hold on. I'm talking in general. I'm saying that. Because I don't want to make.
If I gotta go through somebody's phone,
I'm saying, how would you know? How would you know that your person is even watching porn? Because to me, and I'm a different kind of woman, so I don't want you looking at my phone and stuff.
Well, what?
Y'all not talking like that? I felt like
regardless.
Let me say this. I've never been the type to. If I gotta go through your
all this
phone,
control shit.
if I gotta go through your phone, it's too late. You ain't going through mine. I ain't going through yours. But the thing was, he gave me his phone to do something, and when I went to go look up something, the shit was there. And I'm just like, I wasn't ready for this. Oh my God, you're looking at that big booty Brazilian, so I'm not enough. That's because
Big booty Brazilian.
that's exactly what it was. I was just like, little country line. I was thick then, but I wasn't thick like that. You know what I'm saying? And I was just like, I had an insecure.
Why y'all personalized?
I would have known. But you know, emotionally, I wasn't ready to be in that relationship.
Why y'all personalized?
And I don't think he was either.
But
You
see,
know what I'm saying?
this is like new, and I'm like being dead ass. This is news to me because I never thought porn was that bad.
It's not that bad. It's the thing that it's deeper than that. So when you get close to someone, there's that, like when you're intimate with someone and you have sex with them, it's a different level.
Now you
It
can't
says,
like porn.
even in the Bible, no, it's a real moment now. So especially if it's just like your other half, like your yin and your yang, y'all go together.
Mm-hmm.
It's a bigger picture than just just sex. It's a bigger picture than just fucking. It's a bigger picture than just intimacy. It's like, this is my life partner. This is my person. So I gotta get through the rest of life with the rest of my life.
Yeah,
with this person. So we know each other. No, so we know each other. So if you know your person, okay, I watch porn. This is what I'm watching on porn. But if something comes to a surprise, we don't, I should know you and you should know me. Nothing should be a damn surprise. You shouldn't be keeping secrets. It's what the thing is. It's just like secrets. And everybody has them. For whatever reasons, they have them. But like when you get to know someone, like the depths, that's the closest you can get.
I see why niggas cheat.
You know what I'm saying?
But let me say this.
Shit.
I had epiphany. I see why niggas cheat.
Why?
I see it now.
It better be a good reason, bro.
It's a great reason.
What's the reason?
Man,
What's the
we
reason?
oppressed as men. They oppressed us, man.
I don't think you're oppressed. Wait a
You're
minute.
They
Hold
oppressed
on.
us,
Let
man.
me say this.
They taking away from our
Let me say
sexual
this.
nature.
They
They taking away from.
Disagree.
They making all the fucking rules.
disagree.
We gotta.
Not make a rule. I just
I
said
want a trigger. I'm
that,
trying to
like,
do
just
this
keep it
on purpose.
1,000.
We want to trigger it.
We oppressed.
But legit.
It's like when we get in a relationship,
You know
it's
what I'm
her, it's
Yeah.
we can't download our software as men. That's why I think it's very important to be honest from the jump. You as a man, you gotta establish. You gotta download your software. As a
If
man,
a woman loves you and she nurtures you for who you are, she knows who you are. But until you tell her exactly who you are, if you're lying, you're cheating, and all this other stuff, she don't know who exactly you are. Love conquers all.
No,
and
no. That's trash.
Explain my honesty then.
No, love conquers all. Love is honesty. Love is transparent. Love is more than this romanticism that people put out there. Like, your nigga might like big booty hoes or whatever, but he loves you. So if that's what he gotta do to
Hey,
get
we
his
gotta talk
whatever,
about that.
but he's going to provide for you. He's going to show up for you. He's going to be who he needs to be for you. But I'm just being real. A lot of women don't want to talk about this shit. Like, there's a woman out there, she's taken care of and she's silent, and women will see him. They have an understanding. Trust me, they have an understanding that you can go have your little concubines, whatever this and the third, but take care of home.
Why he can't just?
But it don't even have to be concubines. There's sister wives or whatever the case you may be. And then there's some people, they have an idea that it's just gonna be us.
Why
Whatever works for you and your spouse is what works for you and your spouse.
Why he can't? Well, yeah, he can. Yeah, he can. Well, is it always just one device connected to the Wi-Fi, or is it like? 4 or 5 advice.
You just sound like somebody that just want to be polyamorous. That's what
No,
you sound
polyamorous
like.
for
My
women.
thing. So
Or
let me
poly,
tell
whatever.
That's for women.
Polygamy,
Okay.
whatever you want to call it.
Scorpio.
I need the floor. The whole floor.
Let mama speak. Let mama speak.
Me being me, going through everything that I went through before him being Teddy B. I knew what I wanted. I knew what I was going to tolerate. I knew what I wasn't going to tolerate. I knew what I didn't want. I knew what you weren't going to give me. I put everything out on the table.
Yeah.
Some may call it an ultimatum, but I had to do this for myself. And I told him before we got together, we're not going to be friends. It's either we're going to be together or we're not. Because when you're friends, somebody's going to get hurt. And I'm not going to be the one that gets hurt.
Why you got to tell him that?
Because it's true. We are, but wait, we finna be on 100.
I need to write notes. So I can tell my next
So it wasn't an ultimatum like it's all or nothing. You gotta marry me. You got to dive down. He had the option to choose whether he wanted to be in an exclusive relationship or if he wanted to be just friends. And if he wanted to be just friends, then he was giving me the option to say, okay, this ain't what I want. Let me go another route. So that being said, I think you do have to be very sure of what you want before you go into a relationship.
Hey, Chris.
And
Take a pull.
It's not as backwards. It's the woman telling you what she's going to. But wait.
That's oppressive.
Because it's not oppressive. Because that's what I wanted to go back to. It's not oppressive. Oppressive is Oppressive is when you aren't given the option or you're not given the resources to do what it is that you want to do. I gave him the resources and whatever it is. I gave him an out. Basically, I wasn't telling him this what you got to do. I'm telling him this is who I am. We're either gonna do this or we're not. Like that. I'm not playing this friend shit like that. I've had enough of that. So he had every option to choose if he wanted to be. I already went through all of that. Next piece of information.
That sounds like some Scorpio shit.
That
is very much.
It's about knowing who you are in a relationship, and I think that is why we end up as women being hurt or falling in love or being into a relationship where this person is completely just not who you should be with. I think that's why, because we don't set expectation, we don't set boundaries in the beginning because you're scared to lose that person. I didn't care about all that. I cared about my feelings. At that very point in time, I was selfish. It was all about what I'm not going to deal with, and it was all about me knowing everything that I've been through with other guys before him. Like, I'm not finna be hurt. Like, you not finna clown me, and we not finna do this. This is what we're doing. This is not what we're not doing. So I don't think that's a form of oppression. B, when you're married, you're supposed to be one. People lose that. Some people have relationships or marriages where they see it as a business. I'm not one to think that. I think this is a union. I think this is the covenant between me and you and God. So it goes back to people having different forms of marriage. What your form is, hey, that's on you. But for me, what we're going to do and what we're going to be it's a conversation that me and you need to have.
Right.
And so with that being said, I think when you enter into a marriage, you're supposed to be one. So going back to the whole porn conversation, going back to all of the other extracurriculum stuff that you do in a relationship, I think that it has to be a conversation. In order for you to have a healthy marriage, you have to be able to express who you are, what you like, whether you're 20, whether you're 30, whether you're 50. You have to be able to have that space to express
Can't
that.
leave out the 80-year-old.
You have to have that opportunity to be able to express who you are in every aspect of your life. And that's what's going to help you grow with each other and not grow apart. So
I got a question.
It's not oppression.
No, I said a question.
It's not oppression.
Okay. Teddy B, the floor is
Teddy
yours.
B.
Please give me some insight.
I had a
From a male point of view.
I had a similar.
Teddy got to talk. Teddy got to talk.
Yeah, I need to
You gotta say something, Teddy.
Because this just sound like this came from the mind of Ashley. I need to.
She said.
I'm fucking with it though.
Actually, it's a mastermind. Don't forget that.
I know. I can tell. Okay.
Mastermind.
Hey, pressure on you. Pressure on you, bro.
Stand down.
Pressure on you, bro. What's up?
No, I want to hear too as a woman who is single, and I'm kind of Gemini. So I'm not really that interested in commitment in the traditional sense, but in the fact that you laid down the law, I'm interested in hearing your perception from a man's
But
point of view.
wait, it wasn't so much of him saying, you know what, I ain't even finna look at nobody else. Like,
No,
it wasn't that. It wasn't the
I'm
commitment
curious to
for him. It was, okay, I know who you are, you know who I am, let's take this to the next level. It was kind of
Alright, man, hold on.
But it was in a different light. I went through the same experience, but it was a different light. Before, I was friends. It was, we shared like family, but we weren't related. My husband, my first soulmate, he transitioned and went on with the ancestors. He went on with the Lord, as others would say. I didn't give him an ultimatum, but I released him because I loved him way too much. I was just like, you know, but I love myself more. And I knew what I was standing on and what I was sitting on. I felt like he would come back. And he had to go through whatever he had to go through. And I told him, I said, if you want me, come get me. Just like that. In those very words. This is my first now. Because I had other options now. I did have options. I had prospects, but you know, we had like this connection. But I had to allow him to be a man in his prime or young or whatever you want to call it. Not even the prime, just in his young. You know, because I saw better things. I saw his potential. I saw his future. Whatever this and that and the third. A lot of times men don't see that. They're in the moment that they're in. And you have to allow them to do whatever they do, get whatever you got to get up out your system. Because when it's real, I need you to know it's real and what's standing in front of you. Like, I don't want to be fumbled. So you can go do what you want to do. I'm not saying I'm finna sit around and wait on you. But like I said, if you want me, come get me. That was the last word I talked to him. We kind of went on a different journey or whatever, and next thing I know, I was just minding my business and working and doing this and the third, and this man did exactly what I said. He wanted me, he stated that, and he came and got my ass. So I'm not saying that it's supposed to go in that order, but I do feel like you have to allow a man to really sit and think about like what they really want.
You gotta force that conversation.
You know, not even force, but just allow them to be who they are. Like naturally, they'll gravitate.
But
what they
hold on.
Wait,
no.
I gotta spit. Hold up.
So, but what I'm saying is when you enter into that connection with the wrong person, it can taint your whole experience of that. And so you have to be cognizant, and that is exactly why I said what I said about ultimatums, and that is exactly why I said what I said about telling the person what it is that you're going to go for and what you're not going to go for. So in doing that, you have to be sure of yourself, just as when you're going into a sexual relationship with a person, you have to be sure about yourself.
So do you
like there are women that can have sex with thousands of men and they never get hurt by it. Like they're just this person that just can't be touched.
Did you test drive?
But then there are people that get emotionally
Did you test drive that thing?
Shut your mouth.
I'm trying
there are people that get emotionally attached, and so naturally being a woman, women are naturally emotional. Regardless of how much masculine energy they have, they are naturally emotional, and at some point in time that is going to catch up with them. So what I'm saying is you have to be very sure of yourself, very sure of what it is that you want, very sure of the person that you're dealing with before you go into that agreement with that person.
See, this is why I don't put energies with genders. Like genders naturally is in order, but when you start trying to blur the two in between the two, it's just like that energy can go in any gender. It just has to be balanced, right? In order for there to be the relationship. I've met women that have never had an orgasm, but they've been with the man and been with the same man all their life. Maybe that's not the man for them because he's not tapping into her mental. Maybe she's blocking something out that was traumatic to her, or she doesn't know how to get in tune with her emotional, or whatever the case may be, to reach that. Like, that's what it's for. You're supposed to get something out of it. Like, he shouldn't be climaxing every time, and you're not.
Some women don't like to come.
So, or it could be a woman that's hopping from the next person. Like, you have to reach to something that ties with your inner being. Like, that is your yin to your yang. You know what I'm saying?
I think it's so.
It's
to
deeper.
To your point, some women don't like that. Like,
Yeah.
I think that goes back to how things have changed. Like, naturally, it is for a man and a woman to connect intimately in an intimate setting. And I think so ultimately, in my mind, you guys can disagree, but to reproduce. Naturally, that's what it's for. That's what sex is for. And so if you don't have that intent of a person building with that person, what is the point of me? Like, what's the point?
Sex
What's the
ain't
point of me?
When I come, I feel dirty.
Sex ain't only for
I don't know if that's. I do. I feel like
It's not only
Like,
for that, but I
That's
feel
the thing,
like
because when the first few times,
What we said about social media?
Yes.
you're not.
We said if we gonna get up in there on social media, you gotta have some intention. Same thing with sex. You can have
No.
intention too, cause it's a manifest. It's manifesting. It's a portal you going in now. You bring some things out.
But,
besides some kids.
But see, I feel like I got a theory. I feel like when
Hold up!
No, wait. I'm saying I feel like for me as a one, again, I know it sounds weird to some people. So I was saying I'm one of the people I don't like to come. The reason why I don't like to come is because I feel. I feel like God gets upset with me when I come. Like I know it's.
No.
I feel like when I'm just being penetrated.
I'm right where you are. It's guilt. It's
Yeah, I feel guilty. I feel like
that's in your mind.
I feel like job done. When that happened,
But no,
I feel like damn, I did a good job.
exactly where she is. Where she is the fact that she feels like this guilt because you know in your mind that I'm supposed to be encountering this moment with someone that I was supposed to be encountering this moment with.
Right.
And instead, I'm encountering with some nigga that I ain't gonna ever see again, or I'm with some nigga that ain't really got good intentions for me. And so, that is where that feeling is coming from, and that's where I'm saying, like, you have to know. Sir, come on.
He's so lost.
You have to know.
I've heard
It's a thing.
Wait, you have to know who you are. Like,
And you
goes
trying to
back.
justify that.
I'm not justifying it. I'm just I'm resonating with where she is.
You resonate
Like,
with that?
I do.
We don't
For
have a
very,
talk.
very no, because sometimes men are in a situation where they feel like they're supposed to have sex is who they are naturally. Just think about mom and dad. Just think about mom and dad. The dad is gonna naturally tell a boy like, go ahead, get your, do what you need to do, and then mom is gonna be telling her daughter like, close your legs. This is what you need to do. Like there's naturally a double standard, and so
and it ain't happening over here.
Men are going to teach.
You be
other
careful
men.
what you stick your stick in, and don't be letting everybody in your treasure pot. Is what I'm telling both of them, because that energy is sacred.
It is.
And there is no double standard.
So why you having
But
sex
wait,
and you ain't
but
trying
wait.
to come?
But wait, let me
That's really
explain.
the big elephant in the room. Then why the fuck you having sex for?
But wait.
That is true. Like
What the
naturally,
I don't want to
don't
come.
waste your beautiful energy.
Nah, go ahead.
Naturally,
You don't feel like
I actually haven't had sex in a long
men teach
time,
their
but
son.
when I have had
That's
sex,
good.
That's
it's
a lot of
real.
power. You know, once you do release or whatever the case may be, there's things that can be manifested. There's certain energy that can be channeled through that.
And to me, I feel like, you know something too, this is just a recollection I had. Since I have been in my celibacy, my celibacy is very weird. So it's been a year and a half. I did have a slip maybe twice. I was like really calm.
Okay, well,
I didn't enjoy the 2 times it happened, but whatever. And every time I did it, I was like, well, this is why I'm celibate. But the point being is that when you get in celibacy, I feel like you start to feel disconnected from pleasure. So, you know, you kind of start operating in your first mind. And that's like men that I have encountered who, like, you know, maybe they might hug me and go, ooh, or, you know, they might do a little something, you know, I could tell that they just like, you know, looking at me like a steak. that's where the gag thing that I was talking about happens.
But
I have
you
literally
get
had men who
more
makes
in
me
tune with your intuitive.
Yes.
You're powerful when you hold that energy. You're just not sharing it with everybody.
and that makes me throw up.
A blessing. Like even as a married couple, there's times where you both need to fast. Like you need to come closer to God or your inner being or whatever you want to call it. I call it God. You know what I'm saying? There's seasons for that. And there's power in sex. There's power in unions. There's power in you being with who God chose you to be with. Like, cause some shit is gonna get moved or done. You know what I'm saying? You have to be careful with your energies. I think we downplay it a lot. Just nut here, nut there, nut everywhere. And that's where Ash goes to like the pornography. I think that was the gateway to that. And it's just like, just sex, just have it and go sow your seeds. No, I tell, if I had a son, I tell my little brother that was my first baby. You got a diamond stick. Be careful where you stick your diamonds. Like, if you're not willing to lie down with that woman and make her your wife and produce a child and be with her, don't waste your energy on that. Be mindful about who you're sharing your energy with. You chose this woman. A man seeketh his wife, and it's a prize, right? So you're not finna go lay down with Billy Bob and Sue. So the same thing with your daughter.
I got a slight pushback with that.
The same thing with your daughter. Like, don't just open your legs. Have standards. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like where I was getting at was there are times where you see the dad in the relationship. You see a mom do this. You see a dad. Your mom is telling you, okay, you just got your period. This means you can't have sex. And then you see the dad, and I'm not speaking from a personal experience, I'm just speaking in general. You see the dad that's naturally saying like, okay, yeah, that's the girl you like, you know, whatever. But I feel like where I'm getting at is naturally in our community, specifically, we have just been told, don't have sex. But why? But why has been neglected. And I feel like it's so much deeper than you just saying because you're going to get pregnant, because you're going to get... There's a lot of information that goes in between that. There's a lot of information that goes into you not having sex before you get married. Now, you have those that want to be like, okay, well, I'm getting the milk or whatever, milk free. But to my point, there is so much more into having sex with a person. And I feel like in our community, we have neglected telling our children, telling the ones that come before us, why. And so, to that, it's soul ties. Back to what you were talking about. There is so much that's given to a person, but regardless if you end up with that person, there's so much in that moment that you miss. And so when you're doing that, and I think that kind of goes to your guilt, I guess, that you feel, is because you're like, where is this going?
Disgust.
Not right.
Slash guilt.
Disgust slash guilt. Is this like, where are we going with this? How is this serving me? Like, this is somewhere I'm not supposed to be because you were naturally taught as a child, don't have sex. And because you're having sex with this person, it just goes into a whole nother big ball of shit. And so I think it's important, to your point, I'm sorry I'm rambling. To your point, in having that conversation is to also discuss the why and why I'm telling you this. Not don't just have sex, but why. Sorry. I said all that to say that.
So I have sex for 3 reasons.
I'm tired of sex.
Procreation,
I say I gag.
recreation, manifestation.
Okay.
With the right person though, because you're not gonna get any of that with the wrong person. Like, you're not gonna get. You might feel
I'm gonna tell you that's the difference between man.
Time like you're on top of the damn world.
I feel like I get what he's saying too, and I get what you're saying actually, because just out there's like women that's just like okay with being a hoe. This is what they want to do. They want to sleep around, so that's what you gonna go.
But that shit is gonna
spend
catch up with them.
Your recreation. That's what you gonna go have your recreation.
It's gonna catch up.
Because a woman that's not that, she's not just gonna be that. Like, she's either gonna have it with you and vamoose, because you don't appreciate what she's bringing, whatever the case may be, or she's not gonna be with.
Is that when the kids are pretty?
Or she's going to be with you for that moment, and y'all just have a understanding that we just screw, and that's that. And what do you get out of that?
Nothing.
Hey,
Soul ties are real.
Hey,
All that
Sue.
stuff.
Soul ties are real.
I wasn't going to
I don't
load
give
my
a
clip
shit.
in the wrong person, bro. I wasn't going to do that.
Yeah. But let me, can I unload my clip?
Y'all are just.
I'm
I'm sick of it.
I hear the women. I hear the women. I'm glad they like that.
Can we move
Selective.
past sex, please?
Fuck no.
I feel like it done went on
This
way
is
too long.
awesome because sex is everything.
It's like making me gag.
Sex is everything. Sex is nature. Everything. Everything you see is sex. It's
The
alchemy. All
right
that
person.
shit.
It's bad.
I ain't just talking about the intercourse thing.
No, but
You talking about
it's
they
People and it just be like, it just is what it is. Like,
Right.
no, it's not is what it is.
Hold
Like
on.
wait, like it's not is what it is.
Y'all
because you have-
never want to understand our nature. We always gotta just go with they shit.
It's not about that. What
This
I'm
nation
saying
is
is
perverted.
that women are naturally emotional.
It
For
is.
instance, when you are in a marriage or when you're in a relationship, when a woman finally leaves, they are leaving physically, but mentally, better believe they are already gone.
okay,
And so what I'm saying is that it's very different. Like you cannot put a blanket on this topic because men enter into certain things physically. You enter into certain things visually. Women,
So can I unload my clip?
women naturally enter into certain things. Well, really everything emotionally. So it's not. You're talking apples and oranges when you talk about that. And so
So
when
can
you
we-
are discussing that, it's very important to acknowledge that soul ties play an extreme role in that certain topic. So you have women
Can we
that
pick out
naturally go into that, but then they actually leave from that whole situation dealing with a completely different baggage than they had than when they went in. So it is very, very important to deal with the emotional
I got something to
side
say.
of it.
I got
How
something to say.
it impacts
I got something to
women.
say.
Okay, go
I
ahead.
got something to say, man.
I got something to say to this.
Cause they talking about when women leave, they leave. They don't stay. They don't.
They ain't
Women, they don't leave completely. They say they do, but they don't.
when that woman's fed up.
When a woman is gone, a woman is gone.
No.
Period.
No. Bro.
Period.
No, bro.
When they leave physically, you better believe they are done.
Bruh,
Like, there is no
it's
coming
plenty of
back.
women that do that goddamn checkup.
No.
On they ex.
Especially if you was that nigga too.
If you was that nigga,
Mm-hmm.
a woman that ass go do
Then
that
they're not
goddamn
gone.
checkup.
But I'm talking about a woman that is gone. A woman that is gone is gone. And what I mean by a woman that is gone is gone is gone. Fucking gone. And I mean,
You can claim.
and I mean,
you can claim that you gone.
But no.
I got a question for
The fact that I'm having a conversation with you.
on fire and I wouldn't piss on. I wouldn't feel any type of way
I know
about it, but I
I got
don't
a
think
question for them.
I got a
question
last time I
for
fucked
the
up
fellas,
is
man.
last time.
Cause we been getting dominated, man. We been getting dominated.
it's not even that.
So
It's not even that.
we'll never get to put our shit on the table and it be
I feel
accepted.
like
We
a
accept
woman-
they shit.
A woman that has been
Told you.
taken advantage of,
Told
and
you.
a woman that has been abused or whatever taken advantage of, she will leave for a different reason. Now, a woman that has hurt a man that was in his righteous and took advantage of a man, and she leaves, she's still gonna have some emotional connection because she knows she was the goddamn wrong.
She's not going back.
She was wrong. So she gonna go out there for that grass that she thought was greener on the other side, and she gonna, that man loved her, you know what I'm saying? But he done moved on. She's still gonna be emotionally tied to him because she knows she did wrong. That's a whole nother story.
And we talking about American relationships, right? Because there's different cultures.
Larry, what you
They're
talking
different.
about?
I'm just trying to because when y'all say women, like I like how you had said like people like leaving genders out, and that's why I said like when people with vibes because the men and women dynamic amongst various cultures and different countries and nations is different.
It
So
is.
like what we're used to, like what us as American men and women is used to is different. I saw was crazy. There's a village, like not even a village, like someplace in Africa where the women is the head of everything. Like the women have multiple husbands. The women are the leaders. That's why like when he like asking the question, well, like would I follow a woman like in certain
It's the
situations,
balance,
but
it's the
in any
balance.
person, I'm not going to sit here and say like no, any male, meaning that a dude with, from my definition of what a male is, from my personal opinion, I think a man can't listen to a woman in interpretation, if you want to say lead. And even when it comes to sex, I feel like sex is sacred, but I don't feel like there's anything wrong with anybody who can take all that knowledge, understand that, but have a different output or a feeling about it. And I feel like nowadays though, it's so been different, because like you said, we was raised with like, you know, mom saying, oh, you know, protect yourself, dad saying you can go out and do whatever. But nowadays also you got people who want to be sexually free. Like her as a woman being open to say like the things that we heard in this podcast, a lot of women would not be comfortable in their confidence to bring that out. Mm-hmm. So emphasizing is always the gender roles about like even saying it, like making it, not trying to make it uncomfortable, but understanding like these are like whole different aspects that shit's not simple. You can't always say one thing that works for you ain't gonna work for somebody else. Right. But having the dialogue to be like, okay, but this is the problem that you're facing. So we're gonna take everything that we all know, and we're gonna like you come with what you facing as far as what you trying to look for in a relationship out here in this world. So anything that we can come together with our knowledge is gonna come to help you and anybody else listening. And I feel like just in a matter of our culture of being black, we got to be more receptive to outside thinking, not just saying always the best way. I know that my God is the only God, but somebody else grew up the same way thinking it's Kali or something like that. So I'm not going to dictate that they're wrong.
He's just like, why would you put him in a box? Like, you don't think God is bigger than that to make himself appear in different forms to other people?
Yeah.
Like, his thoughts are way beyond ours. Like, just as long as you answer to your calling in your life, that's all that matters, right?
But you know what? I think like society has tried to put this image of God out there that's not true, and that's why a lot of people stray away from it, because of the image of people of what people have put. I think God is who you think, like who you think He is. Like you have the Bible, you have all these things, and I'm not gonna get deep into that, but shut your mouth. I will say that people know Him differently. And one way is not right, one way is not wrong. But to your point, I think it goes back to understanding who you are. Like, that is the big piece of this conversation, is understanding who you are and understanding what you're not going to tolerate, what you are going to tolerate. The energy that you put out is the energy that you're going to reciprocate. The energy that you put out is the energy that's going to come back to you, in other words.
Gotta look up to us, nigga, no pill. Cool clouds, fire proposition. Skybox view, I'm a young Jerry Jones, getting money, getting stoned, putting my niggas on, making sure our business on the top where we belong.